Good evening. My name is Clint Eves. I'm principal at Johnston County Early College Academy. I appreciate you coming out this evening to hear more about our program. To start off, we've got about a 3-minute video. We have shared this with the 8th graders when we've gone out to the school. So at the end of this, I'm going to talk a little bit about what you see, but we also have some more information we're going to share with you.
Feeling attacked.
Yeah, I did it.
Whoa.
Okay, so number one, to see out of that video, we are not perfect. There was a whole lot of mistakes, and I apologize for that. But the other part is we're not perfect because we are about a growth mindset. And the first thing I want to pull your attention to about the video was there was a young lady, it was a little video, had a piece of paper folded up, she made a cut, and she pulled out this long string. Well, it was supposed to be a triangle, but it wasn't. That's our week of inspirational math. We want our students to learn by doing. We're going to make mistakes because when we make mistakes, we learn from those mistakes. She did the experiment again. She folded it 3 or 4 times, however many she supposed to fold it, made that cut and got a triangle. Then had to get a quadrilateral and a pentagon. So we learn by doing. You also saw that in many projects and presentations students were doing. There was what's called a stop motion video. That was the little squares moving around the graph paper. We do that in math. We want you to understand why do I need to know about a rotation, or a reflection, a dilation, a transformation? Well, it's part of cartoons. Maybe you want to be a cartoonist. So we do by learning. That's who we are. We also tell the students, we hope you saw someone that looks like you. Whether it was male, female, some ethnicity, whether it looked like somebody was working hard or if it looked like somebody that wasn't working very hard at all. We have all types of students. We're here to challenge you, and we're here to get you ready for the next step, which is college. So what is Johnston County Early College Academy? We're what is called an innovative high school under the Department of Public Instruction. It is a program designed for one of three types of students. One, you're going to be the first student in your family to go to college. Or maybe you're a student that school is difficult. Maybe you have struggled. Maybe your middle school counselor thinks that you won't fit in a traditional high school and maybe possibly become a dropout. We're somebody for you. Or maybe you need an accelerated program to challenge you more than you would be at a traditional school. So we're for all types of students. And there's not one that fits the mold for us, because we want to take each student and make them to be the best they can. We are a 5-year program, and during these 5 years, you will get your high school diploma. So we have 10 teachers. We teach your English, science, math, and social studies just like any traditional high school. However, your pathway that you have to complete is a college transfer pathway. So you would meet with our counselor, Mr. Allred, and decide, are you going to do an associate's in arts, which is pretty broad. It's not drawing and painting arts. It's just a broad curriculum. Or are you more math science and you do an associate's in science? Or JCC has just started an associate's in engineering. Maybe you're interested in engineering, and this is a way for you to get a 2-year associate's in engineering program and then transfer to a 4-year college. So I used to be at Clayton High School, so I can say this, and I'm not beating up on my traditional high school people or the CTE program. So instead of taking art or taking Microsoft or taking health sciences, you take college transfer classes. Those are your electives at Early College Academy, because you're going to get that associate's degree. We're designed around rigor. All of our high school classes are honors level classes. I had a family I was talking to earlier, not sure my child's ready for honors level. Why not? Need to be. Challenge yourself. We're going to challenge you because, again, we're getting you ready for college. As I've told all the 8th graders when I've gone out to meet with them, no matter what you do next year, it's going to be a challenge. Whether you come to us, one of the other 6 programs, whether you go to your traditional school, because you are now going to high school. And everything that you've done up until, students don't hold your parents don't hate me for saying this, because I've got a 9th grader and I've got a 7th grader, I'm just being honest. Everything that you do up until June doesn't count. Congratulations on the straight A's. You should have worked harder if you got all D's. But when you start next year in August as a high school student, it gets real. That's when you're building to go to college. That's when you're going to start looking for jobs and bettering yourself. So if you haven't been that student that pushed yourself and you need something challenging, we've got that. And we're there to guide you through it and help you be successful with that. So what can you expect at Early College Academy? In your freshman year, we keep our thumb on you, because we are located here on JCC's campus. Again, I've got a 9th grader, 14-year-old young lady. Would I want her walking around this campus by herself? Absolutely not. And we're not going to let that with your child either. All of our classes for our freshmen are taught 2 buildings down in the Smith building. We have about 4 classrooms that are designated for us, and that's where they're taught. If they need to go to the Learning Resource Center, a teacher escorts them. If for some reason they have our science class has to come over to the health science building, a teacher escorts them. So we do not leave them unsupervised. As a sophomore, things get a little bit more free. Some of our classes are taught at the opposite end of campus, down at Elsie. So maybe those students do have to transfer or walk. They usually walk together, but we give them that freedom. They've gotten a little bit older. They've been on a college campus. We've helped ingrain them in what it's like to be here, so they get a little bit more freedom. As a junior, with permission from your parents, you get to start being creative with your schedule. I'll talk a little bit more about that, but our hours are 11 o'clock to 5 o'clock. That's a little bit different than, well, it's a lot different from your traditional schools. They're 7:15 to 2 o'clock. But we're 11 o'clock to 5 o'clock. So in that junior year and the last 2 years, Maybe you get creative. Maybe there's a college class that you want to take at 8 o'clock, a second college class that you want to take at 9:30, and your high school class may be at 11 and at 12:30. So there's your 4 classes. You're done at 12:30. And we've got a lot of kids that do that because they go to work to help with either the family household now, or maybe they're saving for college when they go off there. That happens your senior year and the 5th year also. But that's only if you as parents sign permission for them to do that, to check themselves out to allow them to leave. They also may leave and go get lunch off campus in that junior and above year. But again, all of that is through parent permission. But you have to earn it those previous 2 years to have those opportunities. I'm going to skip that. Well, let me go back. It says we do not offer. Our school board, up until this year, students had to give up the opportunity for athletics, band, extracurricular activities. Again, our hours are 11 to 5. It's hard to do that on our schedule and at a traditional high school. However, our school board says, can you make it work for a student? Well, we can try, okay? And I've told our 8th graders, there's no guarantee that we will be able to work your schedule out so that you can go back to your traditional high school and participate in sports or band. We will try. We will try to help your schedule be that way. But understand, we are only giving classroom space from 11 o'clock to 5 o'clock. And really most of our classes are between 2 and 5. So what I've told our 8th graders is if you do something on an individual basis, you run track. Maybe you want to be in a symphonic band versus a marching band that's co-curricular at the big schools. Maybe you track, tennis, golf, swimming, an individualized sport. So maybe that coach at the traditional school will work with you and allow you to practice on your own. And then we'll work together that if there's a competition, maybe we can work it out to where you can go to the competition and compete for that traditional school. We will try to make that happen. So it used to say these things are not offered. Now we're going to work together to see if we can offer it. We're not making promises. The other piece is students would be required to have their own transportation from here back to their traditional high school. So somebody's going to have to come pick them up and take them back there if that's the case. Okay? So it's no longer can't, it's a we'll try to do the best we can for you. As we said earlier, your pathway here are one of the 3 associates programs. Mr. Allred, are you in here? He's in the back. He's waving his hand. Mr. Allred is our high school counselor, and he also acts as your college counselor throughout this process. He's been here for 10 years. He understands the program. He understands what classes the students need, and he works around that schedule helping students get those. So it's a very important part, your first day, to have those conversations with him. So he understands what's your future, what's your goal out of Early College Academy. I have said we're a 5-year program. Notice I also said earlier we're designed for students that need an accelerated program. Some students complete it in 4 years because they challenge themselves. They may take a 5th class, or they may take summer classes here at JCC. Those are options for you. He's going to help you also with that career planning. Another parent asked me, what pathway will my child have to choose? Well, I've said several times, we're college transfer pathway. However, we have students that through the associate's degree, they have some flexibility in taking some extra classes. We've got a young man right now at East Carolina University. I'll tell you a story real quick. He was going to East Carolina to do like computers and programming, very interested in that. Well, while he was here and taking some of those classes, he had some extra time. He took CNA program, a Certified Nursing Assistant program. You know, it helps him make a little bit of extra money. Gets accepted to East Carolina, gets a job at the hospital in Greenville, and now has decided to get his bachelor's in nursing. It was a career change for him. He thought he wanted to do programming through the CNA program here at JCC. He changed his career. We have students that do paralegal assisting, community Spanish interpreting program. There's a lot of options that you can get something to be a career ready if you need it. Again, our goal is for you to go to a 4-year college and complete a bachelor's program, but we also want you to be career ready also, because you have to have those opportunities. So what's one of our biggest benefits? Everything is free. Books are free, tuition's free, transportation's free. Why is that so important? The credits transfer to any of the 16 state-supported schools. Anyone in here have a child already in college? I see a hand, so you know that it's not very cheap to send a child to college. Average cost per year, when you take books, tuition, somewhere to lay your head and sleep, food to eat, some transportation, average cost is about $23,000 a year. So through our program, through those 2-year associate's program, free, transferable college credit, you have about a $46,000 to $50,000 education halfway, that half of it is done. You're only responsible for the last 2 years as a bachelor's program. They have to accept it. Talking to Mr. Alder also, a lot of our private colleges in North Carolina accept the transfer programs also. Duke and Wake Forest do not, or have not, I should say. We've got out-of-state schools. We've got a student at Georgetown in Washington, D.C. They accepted some of her credits. We've got a student that went to Ohio State. They accepted all of the credits. So in meeting with him and understanding what is your future, what are your plans, we want to be able to set that up so that you can be successful. A couple of things there. Also in that video, you saw students at UNC Chapel Hill. We did a college visit there. We did a college visit to East Carolina. We went to NC State. And we also went to William Peace. In this spring, we will be going to UNC Pembroke, UNC Wilmington, and Campbell University. Last thing I'm going to say, because I believe I'm about out of time. If you want to talk about college education and you want to talk about how to save money, I'm here promoting Early College Academy. But look at all 6 of our programs out there. They will save you time and money. You've got to find the one that's right for you. You've got to find the program that best fits you, because this is the first big decision of your life. Talking to the students now. What to do after 8th grade. I don't think an adult in here had that kind of decision after 8th grade, what to do next year. We all knew we were going to high school. So in another 4 years, another decision. Where are you going to go to college? What kind of job are you going to get? So this is a crucial decision. All the programs offer you something. And if you decide to go to your home school, home traditional high school, which I advocate for, my daughter's at her traditional high school, take the CCP program classes. They're Johnston County Community College classes. They're transferable credit, just like you get through us. While I was principal at Clayton High School, I had kids graduate with a year and a half of college transfer credit just by being at Clayton High School and taking those classes. So you can save yourself money no matter which way you go. But I encourage you to take advantage of it. Thank you for being out here and sharing this time with us tonight. We're going to be back out at our table. If you have any questions, I've got some students and some faculty there. You can ask questions, and they'll tell you the truth. Thank you, and have a good evening.